Okay, this is one of the frames I got from the car boot sale last week. It's just a old, well, it's not, I don't know if it's that old really, but it's a wooden frame, and quite good condition. I've already taken the old print out, so I've already opened it once. But I'm doing this for your benefit, just to show you what I do. Basically, obviously, I just cut the tape off the back, take the old print out, bend the tabs up, tabs out. Glass is fine, so that can go to one side. And then you're left with the frame. I just clear up any bits of tape and stuff from the inside. This one's going to be quite easy to do, but what it has got, it's got a shiny surface, so you're either going to have to sand it down a little bit to get the paint to key to the wood, or you're going to use some of this stuff, which I use. It's got a varnishy surface, so I use this stuff, and it's called ESP, and Easy Surface Prep. And basically what it does, you paint this on to any shiny surface. I used it on my kitchen cabinets actually before I painted those, and it worked really well. But you put it on the shiny surface, paint one coat on, wait for it to dry, and then you can paint to it without sanding. It absolutely makes the paint stick brilliantly. It's fantastic stuff. There'll be no scratching or anything afterwards. So I highly recommend that stuff, and it does go an awful long way. This did all my kitchen. There's still 3/4 of a bottle left, and it goes an awful long way. But you can paint it on glass, metal, and then paint straight over it, and the paint won't come off. So there's that. So the first job will be to paint the frame. So I'll actually give this a good shape first. Then I just go around and paint my frame really quickly. It doesn't have to be too done fussy. Just zip round. Paint the frame. Okay, we're ready to paint the frame now. It's dried, the stuff's gone off, and took about an hour to dry, I suppose. So I'm just going to use this sort of colour on it to brighten it up a bit. Quite simple. Just using one of my brushes. And just go around the edge of the frame and make sure you smooth your brush strokes out as you go around, so you don't want to see lines. And this will take about 2 coats on this frame. Yeah, I'll zip around here. Okay, just putting the last little bit on now. So the essential thing to do is to make sure you're using a brush with quite fine bristles. You don't want to use a decorating brush or anything like that. Just a nice fine brush, so you can get all the brush strokes out of the paints. And be careful as you go round. That took me about 2 or 3 minutes to do. Second coat's even easier. And I think that looks great. Now there's lots of different things. This one I won't be line waxing this one, but I've done others that I've line waxed, and when I do another one I'll show you it with the line wax thing on. But I tend to line wax the wider mouldings, the wider frames. I like to line wax those. But you could do these any colour. You know, you could go to Farrow and Ball. They're nice paints, and you could get any colour. Well, yeah, most colours, but they're nice muted tones. They do nice paints. So, but there are other brands, of course, that you could use. I think they all look pretty good. And there we go. So we'll just wait for that to dry, and I'll do the second coat, and we'll have a look and see how it looks after that. Okay, that coat of paint is dry. It took about an hour, I suppose. And just one more coat, maybe 1 or 2 coats, but I think 1. And okay then. It's well dry now, the frame. It was dry by the time I went to bed last night, so it took about an hour to dry fully. It's got a slightly matte finish to it now. It's not a gloss finish, and what I like to do now is just give a little bit of this bry wax, clear bry wax stuff, and it kind of just gives it a slight sheen and gives it a lift, I think. And I imagine it protects it a little bit from marks and stuff like that. So it's worth doing. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a coat of that. I just use a bit of kitchen towel. So if you had a special cloth, you could use that. And just go around the edge. Just work that in. What I do once I put it all on, go around all around the sides. Do that. Then what I do once that's on, I let it dry for a minute. Just sort of soak in, I suppose, or dry, or evaporate the oil. And what I tend to do, I tend to not, what I do is do, like if I'm doing, I'd have 4 or 5 frames together, I'd paint 4 or 5, and then I'd wax 4 or 5, so you're not keep changing between different sorts of materials to use. That way it takes the time right down in the actual sort of restoration process. I tend to dismantle the frames in one go and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so just let that dry, and then give it a little buff up like that, and it just gives it a slight sheen, nothing too much. Take those out a bit, bend those in, because they keep... Just give it a slight sheen. There we go, that's done. I don't know if you can see that, I'll just come a bit closer. There's a slight sheen to the moulding now, it's got a slight finish to it. It's not so dull, and it just looks more professional, I think, if you give it that coat, that little bit of wax polish. I just use a bit of the window lean to clean the glass. This one's a bit, and if I got these, because they're quite old, these frames, sometimes the glass needs a bit of a clean up with something more than just that. And what I tend to use, you've got to be very careful with these, but a very sharp blade or something, just to run over the surface of the glass in places, because they've had stickers on, you know, because they're, I guess they've been in second-hand shops and car boot sales and stuff. So, you know, you need a bit of a clean up like that. Okay, that's clean. We want to put the glass into the frame. You see it needs a bit more of a clean there. It's on the other side. And what's left to do? Put the picture in. Oh, that's the demo I did. The other side of it the other day. And put some in temporary. Oops. And there we go, there's the finished thing. Okay, so you can kind of see it's, I think it looks pretty good. I'd hang that in any gallery. And what's it cost me? £1 for the frame, and another, say, the mounts, a couple of quid, say 3 quid, say 4 quid for the mounts. So I'm being really, because it's 4 or 5. So the whole thing, to restore it myself, has cost me about £5. And I think if you were looking at picture framers for that frame, you'd be probably looking at around £25. So it's, you know, I'm not decrying picture framers, they certainly do a great job, and I can understand that the materials they buy are expensive, the mouldings are expensive, the glass is expensive, and obviously they've got lots of overheads, so they have to charge the money they do. But you know, for artists who are getting a lot of framing done, it could be too expensive, especially if you're not you know, a well-known artist and you don't make much money from paintings, getting them looking really good can be expensive. So this is a good solution. You've got the, like I say, you've got the a good moulding, nice moulding with a lovely paint finish on it, no brush marks, no nothing, and it's all ready to go. So I hope you like that. I hope you found it useful, and I've got a couple more here I can show you that I've already done as well that might be of interest to you. I'll show you them. There's a couple more that I've done. There's a couple more here I've done. One's got this was a dark brown moulding, and I've done it with a bit of lime wax on it. This was a really cheap gold looking frame, not nice at all, and I've just put what they call like an off-white colour on that, and that's like a greeny colour, you can see that. And I guess for watercolours that'll be fine, you know, get a nice, by the time you've got your mounts in there and everything, and you've got a painting, it will look really good. And you know, what have I spent on that lot? Probably next to nothing. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it's been of use to some people. If you've got any questions about buying them, or what type of frames they are, or where I get them from, or whatever, just please leave a message below the video. And if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, really important to the channel. And don't forget to come along to purewatercolour.com. We've got a lovely website there with a forum, lots of members that post their paintings regularly and chat about their work and whatnot. So you're more than welcome to join there. It's completely free, no charge at all. You just need to sign up with your email address, and you become a member, and it's completely free. Everything on the site is free. So anyway, thanks for watching, and bye for now.